You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
Man, so someone was late again. It's not
Yep.
looking
Now,
good for you.
now this time I'll admit I was really late not really late as in late by a lot, but I was late this time. Had to be careful around the school kids and stuff like that driving. So
Is that your
yeah.
reasoning? That's the excuse
Yeah.
you're gonna use? Okay.
Yeah. Don't you care about kid
Of
safety?
course. But
All
if
right.
you were on time, you wouldn't have to worry about a school zone. Just saying.
Maybe. I calculated wrong what time I needed to get up. So
Mhm.
but it's all good. We are here for week 3. Week 3, y'all know a big part of being successful is being consistent. And here we are 3 weeks later, still at it with the dialed in show. So how was your weekend,
It was
Steven?
good. It was busy, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into that. But let's start with a viral video. So some of you guys may have seen this. It happened to be at the world's busiest airport, which is in Atlanta. A woman was seen running on the tarmac, and then a cop tackled her and arrested her. Look at the video first. So initially when I saw it, I was like, what is going on here? And then of course the commentary that we probably will have to mute because of choice words. But the reports say that the woman was being denied her flight because disorderly conduct. And when the cops came to arrest her, she took off running. I don't know how she got on the tarmac though, because she was in the
Yeah.
terminal. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I still, even though that was funny, I think that cop was just a little frustrated because he didn't have to push her like that. That was a
Well, he
little
didn't
aggressive.
tase her. He didn't shoot her. Would you
Well,
rather a push
yeah,
than something else?
I'm definitely glad he didn't shoot her. But to me, I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't know. That push just seemed aggressive. It just seemed aggressive.
She
I
fell
don't know.
pretty hard. Uh,
Yeah, it was like
but the thing,
I think he was tired of running, and he's
oh
like,
yeah,
"Nah,
oh
like,
yeah.
hey,
And then
chill out."
how did she get on the tarmac is the question. Now, granted, I used to work at Delta at the airport, but there's some layers of security, and so unless on the jet bridge, she may have opened that door. But I'm just wondering how she got on the tarmac. That's
Yeah, well, and a whole lot of stuff like that, airports, federal buildings and stuff like that. A part of their security is just the mental part of it. It's not like, well, not to bring that up, but January 6th is proof of
oh,
it. Is
I,
it's not as
I thought I
impenetrable
thought
as
you were
we
going somewhere else.
thought.
I thought you was about to say September 11th.
No.
Oh,
Oh, well, that too. But stuff is way more
yeah,
secure than it
yeah.
was back then.
TSA wasn't even a thing in 2001 like that. But yeah, January
Yeah.
6th. Yeah, yeah. Well, but that was also they kept being pushed back. They weren't. It wasn't like security wasn't tight. It was they forced their way in, and if that had been a different situation, I think some people would have been shot. And granted, there was a shooting, but
Yeah, this is Black History Month. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying I don't think that's a security like, oh, it was a security breach. No, they kind of just let them in. And let me rephrase it. They didn't let them in. They didn't stop them. They just kept being pushed
Right.
back.
Right. Because couldn't have been me. Well, I can't remember. He got an award. The black officer who was in a lot of
Mhm.
the pictures and
Yeah.
stuff. Hey, that showed what's what I'm looking for? How police really can man, what's what I'm looking for? Control their power and their authority
Yeah.
because he was well within
Right.
his right to
All of
have
them
shot
were in their
anybody.
right to have done more. And when it first happened, some
Yeah.
people were upset because they were saying that that had been a
Hmm.
different group of people, and the outcome may have been different. Just put it like that.
Would have been the January 6th massacre.
Yeah, I think it would have had a different name. All right, let's
Yeah.
switch gears. Everyone saw the Super Bowl on Sunday,
Yes,
and more
sir.
people probably saw the halftime performance by, we're claiming him, Atlanta's own Usher. What did you think of the show, Michael?
Usher Raymond. It was phenomenal. Look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't watch the first half of the game, and I was asleep. But when I woke up, it was just in time for the
I
halftime
should have
show,
known you would be asleep.
and
I should have known.
yeah, I was
Super
asleep.
Bowl or
Well,
not, you're
plus
gonna take
didn't
a
have
nap,
a right, especially on Sunday. Plus didn't have a dog in the fight,
right?
and so I didn't necessarily care
When
too
the last
much.
time you had a
But
dog in a Super Bowl fight?
or that I care a little bit about. But now I wanted Kansas City to
Mm-hmm.
win, and they did. But we talking about Usher. We
We'll
talking
talk
about
about
Usher.
Usher first.
Yeah. Woke up just in time to see the halftime
Mm-hmm.
show. Now we're biased because we're from
That's correct.
Atlanta. But it was, if not the greatest in my opinion that
Oh
I've ever
wow,
seen. It was
you
definitely
you
one of the greatest. It was just
you thought it was the greatest. Well, granted, how many halftime shows have you seen? I'm not saying it wasn't good.
well,
I'm saying
I almost said a word I can't say on here.
no, I'm saying how many halftime shows have you actually seen? Like, have you seen maybe the last 6?
Yeah,
Okay,
look, I watch.
okay.
Yeah, and then I mean, okay, so because when did Rihanna do it? She wasn't
She
last
was
year,
last
was
year.
she? Okay, and then but Beyonce was several years
Yeah,
ago,
well,
wasn't she?
Beyonce did it with Bruno Mars one time, and I'm gonna get it wrong. Coldplay. Well, Beyonce and Bruno kind of overshadowed Coldplay, and then remember Beyonce had her own like 2013. Bruno had his own. Justin Timberlake. Um, that was some of the and then the one in L.A. with Snoop, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige. That was like 3 years ago. So no, all right. Go back to what you were saying. I was just caught off guard that you said it was the best ever.
That
Yeah,
I've seen. And so now, not in the history of all 52 however many Super Bowls,
58.
maybe not. I mean 58. But in recent years, including Beyonce, and I really like Beyonce as a
Mm-hmm.
performer because she's a great performer. But I also like it was the way he included several other people. It just
But
flowed
that's what every Super
seamlessly, in
Bowl
my
show
opinion.
is. Now, I think what you're saying is we enjoyed
Yeah.
it because it was an Atlanta halftime show. It was the halftime show that Atlanta should
Yeah.
have had when Atlanta had the Super Bowl a couple years ago. A lot of black artists boycotted that year. That was around a tense time, and so we didn't get the show that we thought we were going to have. I mean, but Usher had, of course, Ludacris, Lil Jon, Jermaine
Alicia Keys.
Dupri,
Yeah,
Alicia Keys,
everybody.
her who played the guitar. Why'd you make that
Yeah,
face?
no, that was cool.
What
That was cool. Because you brought up Jermaine Dupri. Why was Jermaine Dupri looking like a little girl greased up for picture day in the third grade?
had the little white socks with the black shoes? I heard somebody say
Yeah,
people
no,
thought that was
that was
CeeLo Green.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did when he first came out.
You didn't
I
know that
really
was Jermaine
did.
Dupri.
Okay, now you gotta admit, him and CeeLo Green, they favor each other.
They are round, but they're not the same height.
Well, they probably are about the
I don't
same
think
height.
so.
They
And CeeLo Green's bigger than Jermaine Dupri.
He is, but you gotta admit, at first glance when he first walked out, you probably like, who is that?
And then I mean,
And then, like I
Usher
said,
had the roller skates. He had Jackson State
it was
marching band.
the
Yeah,
band, the
he had
Kappas
he
was
had the
out there
Kappas.
behind him.
Uh,
Well, look, I'm not, but
it was good though.
it
It
was
was
it was
culture. It was really good. Now
yeah. Now
I will say it started off slow. And I thought, I
it
said,
did.
maybe, I said, is he sick? Because his mic, it was the mic. Because you could tell when he switched
Mhm.
mics, he sounded totally
It was
different.
better.
Because I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I was like, he don't sound right. And I thought he was sick. I said, maybe
yeah.
it's gonna come out that he had a cold or something.
Yeah, when I rewatched it, yeah, the beginning was its weakest
Yeah,
part for sure. It didn't really pick up till Alicia Keys came out,
yeah,
and that's not a slight
yeah,
on
yeah.
him.
It
It's
just
just
started slow.
that's
Now I thought he was
yeah,
gonna start with yeah.
yeah.
He did not. But it was
Mhm.
good.
20-year anniversary for Confessions. It was just it's been an Usher
Yeah,
season,
he keeps
really.
adding
It's just
shows.
been
So he added more tour dates before the Super Bowl, and then yesterday he added even more tour dates. So like some cities, like Dallas and
mhm,
Atlanta, he has 3 shows now. So I mean, the Super Bowl propels you. Is this is his? I mean,
yeah,
he's been in the game for a long time. So this is kind of like his.
yeah.
I don't want to say rebirth because he had been on tour. Well, his residency in Vegas. So yeah, man, it was good. I was just shocked. You said it
Look
was the
now,
best that you ever seen.
yeah, and there was a little bit of controversy slightly about him and Alicia Keys and him being all up on her. But her husband said that we was focused on the wrong thing. That didn't she look amazing in that dress? But I mean, yeah, I feel with other people, he could have backed up a little bit. He was up
Yeah,
on her a little too much.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure she communicated with her husband about the performance. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And they're performers, they're
Right,
artists, so that's part of what they do. But still, it was
right.
yeah.
All right, well, sticking with the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. He is the first black quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, he already made history last year because there's only a small number of black quarterbacks who have ever won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. He was last year when they
Mhm.
won. He was already the first to have more than one Super Bowl. And so, just another stat is the first to win back-to-back. He's the only black quarterback to have 3 Super Bowls. I'll hold this up. Some of our viewers that are Chiefs fans, they said I wasn't supporting the city that I used to
Uh,
live in. I'll be honest, I did not think the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl this year. I'll go on the record saying that. But they did.
mhm.
So congrats to the Chiefs. But Black History Month, Black
Congratulations.
History Month, Patrick Mahomes making more Black history.
Well, look, I gotta. Well, might get in trouble for this, but I got a couple questions for you. One is there's a former presidential um nominee or whatever. She said, "Congratulations to Taylor Swift's boyfriend."
Yeah.
That was funny to me, but uh uh this is just hey, because we said we're gonna be real, and I'm letting y'all in on we're letting y'all in on our conversation. So forget all y'all are here. This Steven and Micah just having a conversation. Steven, now I'm just trying to think. There is okay, I word it this way. Patrick Mahomes is mixed, right? And absolutely nothing against
Yeah.
people
Are
who are
you
mixed
saying
at
now?
all.
I actually had this conversation with some of my coworkers the other day. I think I know where you're going. Are you saying can? Are you saying we are choosing when to say Patrick Mahomes is a black quarterback, or are you going somewhere else?
Or or even I maybe going somewhere else. Even there's so many successful black people are the ones that we prop up that's mixed. They're not
Oh, I
fully
got what you're
black. Or,
saying.
or
I got what
even
you're saying.
think about like President Obama. He's really
It's
mixed.
not. He's
You know what I
really.
mean?
He
And
is.
so
No, I mean, but
yeah.
that's just the circumstance. I mean, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, he was all black. He played for the Washington then
Mhm,
Redskins. He's still alive.
mhm.
So I think I get what you're saying, but you got to kind of just take what you got. Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes
no, I'm just saying. Do you think
happens.
in the co- in the co- in the context of his Black History
Mhm.
Month, do you think there is an advantage still in 2024, either to in biracial individual or a light? Let's go there. Somebody who maybe is lighter skinned. And this is broader than
Yeah,
sports.
we have the country and even black people. We have biases, and I don't want to say studies have shown. I don't know if there's been studies, but people tend to favor. Even if you look at it, and some of this is narrative, some of this is just not being knowledgeable about things. Even when, let's say, Patrick Mahomes is playing Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is dark skinned. He's black. They describe both players differently. Um, they may, talk about Patrick Mahomes' skill and intelligence, and they might talk about Lamar Jackson's physical ability to run or do things.
Mhm.
So that's something that's been going on for years. Not just a white thing; black people do it too. And like you said, I mean, skin complexion plays a factor. I mean, the Super Bowl last year was Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And so regardless of who would have
Mhm.
won, it would have been a black person. Now, Jalen Hurts is black, like all black. I said that wrong, but you get what I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes is mixed,
Yeah.
and he's proud of his background. He's proud of his background. I mean, you can't change
Who?
Patrick Mahomes.
Now, I thought there was some level of me and you had a conversation one time before about him, uh, or am I wrong? About there being something that he wasn't really
Well,
claiming
well,
that
some
side of his
people have
family.
questioned, why don't they see more of his black family? And that's only a question that he can answer. Especially for black people, if we're propping someone up as we're proud of them for making black history. Some people have wanted to see more of Patrick Mahomes' black family members. But
Mhm.
I mean, we see what we see. The cameras are always on his father, which most black players that happen to be successful sometimes don't have a father who is still in their life. They show Patrick's dad.
Yeah.
So no, I've seen people complain or make comments saying, "Well, why don't we see Patrick's grandparents or cousins that are on the black side?" I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. Uh,
And you're in news, and so like out in society, like you said, it still exists in 2024. Some biases toward color and race. So something that we still haven't overcome as a people. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
Americans.
So Patrick Mahomes made
Yeah,
history again.
congratulations.
No, I
100%.
get what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, how many more you think he got in on, if any?
Um, I think he's at least going to win one more. Now some people are going to say, "Oh no, he's going to win." Tom Brady has 7. I don't.
I was just
I
saying,
don't
how
think
many
he's
does
going to
Tom
get
Brady
7.
have?
Now, granted, he is accomplishing this at a faster pace than Tom Brady and all these other quarterbacks. I don't see 7. I could be wrong. I mean, 3 this fast is already. I mean, he could retire tomorrow and be in the Hall of Fame. So uh,
In his name, Andy Reid. How many does he
this is his
have?
third. So Andy had been to the Super Bowl before when he coached the Philadelphia Eagles, but never won. He had a black quarterback, Donovan McNabb, and they never won. So Andy Reid finally got to the mountaintop with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. And there was rumors that he was going to retire this year. And he said after Super Bowl, he was like, "I'm not thinking about retirement." So he has 3 rings. Um,
Mhm.
and and it was crazy. And I don't think, well, you probably don't know this story. So the Hunt family owns the Chiefs, right? And Dan Hunt,
Somebody like the ketchup. Oh wait, no, that's
no,
isn't that Hunt?
listen, the Hunt family owns the
Okay, go
Chiefs.
ahead.
Their dad, Lamar Hunt, is who helped start the NFL. The trophy for the
Oh wow.
conference that the Chiefs are in, the AFC, is named after him. He helped start the NFL and start MLS in the United States. Big name, rich family. Their brother lives here. He owns FC Dallas, the soccer team here, and then his brother Clark owns
Mhm.
the Chiefs. And their mom passed last year. She had been to every Super Bowl because they helped start the NFL. She
Mhm.
had been to 57 Super Bowls. So it was kind of good that the Chiefs won because it was like winning for her. But can you imagine going to
Mhm.
57? She went to every Super Bowl in history. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. I can't say what came to my mind. I can't say it. So just
What?
let's keep
What are you
going.
talking about?
I just got. I'll tell you later. It wasn't nothing bad, but it just wasn't necessarily okay for the Dowd show.
All right. So explain why we are wearing the same sweatshirts.
Yeah, yeah. We said that this month in Black History Month. Wait, what? But either way, for Black
What?
History Month,
What?
we are going to support.
You just
we it just I
messed
don't
up
know.
the
I
whole
got twisted
transition.
up. We are going to support black businesses and organizations the entire month, every week on Wednesday. Well, last week was the first week. We started out with Cookie Society in Texas. Steven's friends who own Cookie Society, we supported them, shouted them out on last week. This week, we're bringing it back to the A,
Yeah,
right?
man.
With two brothers from Morehouse College, and they started this company called East Side Golf, East Side Apparel, and it's really cool. We want y'all to support. We support people that don't look like us. When people that do look like us put out quality material, we should support it. And what's his name? Michael Jordan is supporting them as
Yeah,
well,
Michael
right?
Jordan supporting them. They came out with some personalized golf shoes that look pretty cool, and he's letting them assist with. I mean, Jordan already has a golf brand, but now Eastside Golf is partnered with them, which is huge. The two guys, like Micah mentioned, went to Morehouse. They played on the golf team with Morehouse, won a championship, and now they start this brand. Golf is actually, it has been evolving since Tiger Woods, of course, but more and more young people, more and more minorities are playing golf. You ain't gotta be good at it, but people are playing, and so they have this apparel that they don't want just to be worn on the golf course, but they want to look good just to wear anywhere. And so clearly, you see, is something that people aren't used to seeing in golf. I mean, it's a black guy with a chain. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, making the sport more inclusive. Shout out to, because I used to play golf growing up, and shout out to all the pioneers whose names don't get called. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Miss Legine Good and the I can't think of the name right now, but all the people that are behind the scenes that are promoting the sport, golf, tennis, all those where minorities are not typically who are known to play, even sports like lacrosse and
Yeah.
swimming. It's swimming, now that is a sport. Now I could be wrong, but that's a sport I still don't think I've seen a prominent black.
Not like a
Um,
superstar, but black people have won in the Olympics.
mm,
I can't think of her name. She was on one of the relay teams, won a couple years ago. But yeah, it's not like a black superstar. There are black swimmers, of course, that are on
oh
the
yeah,
Olympic level. It's just, yeah, they don't.
but there's no Simone Biles or Serena
Right,
Williams or Tiger
right.
Woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Tiger Woods and golf, it's interesting now. I don't know this to be true, so if I'm
How
wrong,
you
we
about
have
to
to
talk
correct
about
it next
something
week.
that's if you don't know the accuracy of it?
Well, because I'm just really I'm asking a question that we can answer later. Is I wonder, does Tiger Woods support Eastside
Right?
Golf? And the reason I'm saying that is because part of the conversation we was having before about individuals being in or halfway in or
Well, but
or
Tiger Woods
not,
has his own
and it doesn't.
brand too. So, I mean, he can still
Well,
wear it.
what's his name? Michael Jordan didn't need them.
Yeah, that's correct. Michael Jordan gave them a chance. Tiger Woods is not in the same
Yeah,
position. Tiger Woods has his own brand. And
I'm
he just
saying,
left Nike. He's like doing his own brand on his own now. He just left Nike. I get what you're saying. You're saying,
but
does
we know,
Tiger Woods own any
yeah,
Eastside Golf? Well, we need to ask Tiger Woods. Maybe we'll have him on the show.
probably not. Hey, Tiger, come on the Dialed In show. Now that would be dope. That would be dope. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
What
That
would
would
you
be
ask
cool.
Tiger
His
Woods?
son
His son is good. His son might be better
and
than him.
and his son is just like him. All their
Yeah.
mannerisms, the way that they play, the way that they is. I'm excited to see him get
Yeah.
older. I think
But they literally, their
he got.
swings are the same, their reactions, their hits are the
Yeah,
same. That man, yeah. Uh, I
yeah, yeah.
I knocked in a nice long putt last month.
Oh, really?
I recorded it. I showed you.
Well, from the angle, I couldn't tell that it was a long, but I saw that you got it in, and I told you I don't know how many times it took
That
you
was
to
on the
record
first
that
try.
to
That was
to
on the
get it in.
first try.
But yeah, I'm excited about the next generation of young athletes of color. I guess that's a good way to say it. Because what's her name? Golf. Not golf, but golf.
Coco
What's her first
Golf.
name? Coco. Yeah, yeah. She's I believe in my heart gonna surpass Serena as far as titles and all
Oh,
that.
well, we have a lot of young black stars, which is very cool. Now, transitioning to something a little more serious, not a little more, a lot of more serious. So, of course, we have shootings in this country every day. There have been shootings that have been happening in more I should say places that don't normally have shootings. Over the weekend, there was a shooting at Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. If you don't know, Lakewood Church is Joel Osteen's church, popular preacher on TV and online. So the details came out. The police department had a press conference recently, and they said that the woman, had a long rifle. She had a child with her, and they said on the rifle had Palestine on it. Still unclear what that meant. They said she has multiple arrests in her past, and also dealing with some mental health issues. And they're crediting two off-duty officers. One was an agent, I forgot what agency, but then the other one was with TABC, which is in Texas, is alcohol, like an agent with them. They were off duty. Churches have, cops and people who work as security. They were able to confront her and shoot, and unfortunately kill her, but shoot her before she even made her way into the church. Like, she was in the lobby,
Mm,
but that's a huge church. So she wasn't,
yeah.
and she walked in and instantly started shooting. What are your what was going through your mind when you heard about that? About a shooting at a church? I mean,
Yeah. Well, first, our prayers continue to go out to Lakewood and their entire community, and but one, I think it brings back up conversation of making sure that churches are kept safe, and not just Christian churches, but any place of worship. We are in the United States of America, and we have freedom of religion, and people should be able to worship or exercise their faith. Especially in their places freely. So I think you use the word unfortunately that they
what I'm saying
took
is
her life.
unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I mean, she was shooting
Yeah,
people. Yeah, they. I mean, it was good that they did their job. I'm just saying it's still unfortunate.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad that they acted quickly and took care of the situation because now two people did get shot, from what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand,
and the
right?
little boys in like serious condition. I mean, of course, that can change. I mean, yeah. I mean, the cops did what they were supposed to do, which is great that they were
Yeah,
there.
because it could have been much
Yeah,
much
and
worse,
it
much
wasn't
much
during
worse.
the main service. It was during another service.
Yeah, it was their Hispanic
Yeah.
speaking service. And there's video of one of the
Mhm.
ministers. He was on video, and you saw the people behind him
Yeah.
going down the escalator. They were beginning to run as they heard the gunshots. So I think it leads to a broader conversation still about gun safety in the United States of America. We are considered to be well, depending on who you ask now, but the greatest country in the world, the place that everybody wants to come to, but you can't go to church or school or to a park without the risk of there being a mass shooting. You can't go get your medication that you need and proper medical care because of our healthcare system and insurance. So I think we do a whole lot of talk on both sides of the aisle,
Yeah.
both sides, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. At what point is enough enough?
But the thing is,
But
in some of these cases, and in this case, the gun was legally purchased. Now, there's a separate debate about, you know, the type of gun, but
yeah.
in a lot of these recent cases, the gun was legally purchased.
Now, let me make sure I word it right. Now, don't get it confused. I am pro self-defense and you being able to bear arms to defend yourself, your property, and your family. So don't get that confused. Don't think that I'm saying I'm against the Second
Mm,
Amendment or any of that kind of stuff. However, I do think that we have to be realistic. It's not like these rifles that we're talking about, these aren't hunting
yeah,
rifles. There's not like, oh, I want to go and kill a deer. No, these are weapons designed to kill large numbers of people. Um, why do you need that just on an
yeah.
everyday
It's,
basis?
it's been
I
a
I mean, that's
conversation.
that's
It's something that we're going to talk about forever. And I mean, I don't think,
yeah,
even if let's and this is going to transition to politics, even if like Democrats take control, that's still, while some, because there are some Democrats who still it's a touchy subject. Yeah, the gun, that weapon, AK-47 or a style rifle like that, is not made to you will obliterate a deer if you shot a deer with it. So
Right.
it's not a hunting weapon. But I don't think that's ever going to change. So, but we can transition to politics. Go ahead, go ahead. What were we gonna say? I just
Yeah,
don't think.
it's
I mean, and there used to be an assault weapons ban. There used to be, but we're in a different
mhm.
time now, where I just don't see us returning to that. I don't. I don't think enough people are going to
And
vote for something like that.
right. And well, and that's sad because how many kids
Yeah,
and innocent people have to die
yeah.
because
And
of
then
it?
you
But
just see thoughts and
uh
prayers, and then move on.
yeah, yeah. What separates in the United States of America? What separates and now people who are extremely pro uh guns and everything. Like I said, I'm not anti-gun, but I'm anti certain guns being in the hands of certain people. Especially you said
Yeah,
she's
and
been
so
arrested
and
before. I don't know what
that's the
for.
conversation that I think there could be compromise on of red flag laws is what a lot of people campaign on. Things like that. Those are things that you can work on and try to get a solution. Now, granted, that's hard too, but that's much easier to accomplish in politics
Mhm.
than banning weapons. Because think about it. Let's say an assault
For
weapon
sure.
ban passes. Okay, somebody gonna go around and take all the guns of the people who already have them. How you gonna do that? That's in their property.
No.
It's in their possession. How you gonna do it? Everybody's not gonna turn their gun.
Yeah.
So I think the conversation, um, if politicians care about bipartisanship and trying to get something done instead of just talking points, is trying to find ways to safeguard people legally purchasing a certain weapon that if they have a mental issue or something like that, that they may should not have. So
Well, here's my thing as we go ahead and get ready to transition. I think every school, public or private, I think every church, every really anywhere where you have a gathering of people, there needs to be armed security. That's just my
I don't
opinion.
disagree with that. And I mean, some
Yeah.
places are doing that. After the Uvalde shooting here in Texas, the governor, well, everybody they passed a law basically saying every school had to have an armed officer. Now, while that sounds great, um, the behind the scenes of it is okay. Who's paying for that? Because some of these schools just don't have that money to. Now, think about how many schools are in a school district, especially in a large area like Texas and Dallas. And so while everyone agrees, okay, y'all gonna give us some money for that? That's been the conversation.
Man, I don't care how much we try and incorporate other topics. The Dowden show is just going to become a political show, I swear. But because okay, then that opens up a broader conversation. Don't tell me we have, and I'm not trying to get deep into this, but don't tell me we have all this money to send to
No, that's
Ukraine and
true.
all this money to do whatever. But when it comes to our own children in our own schools, oh, we don't have the money.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
ooh, I don't know why today I keep getting ready to yeah,
Or you get ready to
that
what?
say stuff I can't say.
No, I mean that is
That's
real, and the thing is, um, it, we talking about politics. I mean, so it's even recent debates of some Republicans who have been for oh, we got to send money to Ukraine, we got to send money to Israel, things like that. Are like, all right, now we send a lot of money. Now they're using the politics of we're sending a lot of money to Ukraine and not fixing the problem on the border, which is a problem. But the
look, look, listen to that Texas coming out of you.
what I live in Texas.
No, I felt y'all. I felt some passion right there. He said it is a
There
problem.
is. I mean, there is no way a Democrat or a Republican can say there's not a problem on the border. Now, has there always been a problem on the border? Sure. But now we are seeing record numbers. So, regardless of the politics, regardless of it being a presidential election, because yes, it is the border has become a political football. Republicans go down there, take pictures, and say there's a problem. Democrats, some have avoided it because they don't want to talk about the problem. There is a problem. Millions of people being apprehended at the border is a problem. But the thing is,
Let me
because of
ask.
politics, people are just on each side and not actually trying to do anything about it.
Let me ask you this, and I promise after this we're gonna go to the what we was gonna actually talk
We'll
about in
probably talk about
politics.
that for a while.
Now, Like now a lot of, especially our red state friends, red states, like to get into the whole conversation sometimes about separation of state power and federal power, right? Say that they want states to be sovereign, states to have all this power. The border, however, is a federal issue, or is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong
No.
on that?
It's been, I mean, the Constitution says Congress is supposed to, you know, assign things to protect the border. It's supposed to be a federal thing. And what the governor, I assume what you're trying to get at, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is saying that also in state constitutions, it allows states to protect themselves. So he looked,
Mhm.
researched. He used to be a lawyer. He researched and said we can declare invasion in our state because people are illegally entering, and so he considers that an invasion. And so that's his
Mhm.
justification for doing the things that they are doing to, in his words, protect Texans. So, yeah, border is a big
Mhm.
divisive issue that's been debated for 30, 40 years. So,
We have the oldest president in the history of our country, right?
81 years old, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So recently, so Joe Biden was cleared of with his mishandling of documents. Donald Trump still being looked into about that. Mike Pence was basically cleared. Joe Biden had documents. The report came out basically clearing him. But Democrats are pretty upset because the special counsel used some choice words that are now being used as some political ammunition for Republicans. The special counsel said the president was a well-meaning elderly man with poor memory. Now, while he's cleared, it's not good PR for a report in black and
No.
white ink to say you are an elderly man with poor memory. So Republicans have been pouncing, saying, "Well, this guy has poor memory," which we have seen multiple videos of the president having missteps, and Donald Trump has had missteps.
quite literally, quite
Yeah, and
literally
Donald Trump has had
misstep.
missteps.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley has tried to exploit that of saying Donald Trump thought Nikki Haley was in the Capitol on
It was
January
Nancy
6th. Yeah.
Pelosi.
So, and Donald Trump's 77, which that is elderly as well. I think
Yeah.
people see the 81 and the 77 like they're worlds apart. They're not. They're very close. But the question to you is Joe Biden's age going to be the reason why he may not win re-election?
Indirectly, maybe. I don't think it would be the main reason, like, oh, he's too old. Because, like, to your point, what's his name? Donald Trump is old as well. If he stopped dyeing his hair, they both have hair that's white. So he and maybe Joe Biden should have looked into that a few years back to start putting a little color in his hair. I don't know. But um here's the thing. Here's the thing. Part of that, I really believe in my heart. Part of that, not ooh, please. I wasn't trying to say Republicans. I meant to say politicians. Politicians, and not all, but politicians. They bend the truth, and they do what they have to do to get elected. They do what they have to do to get what they're trying to
And
get.
people on both sides do
So
that. Yeah.
some of that, right. That's why I said politicians. So some of that, his memory loss stuff, that was to help him get off that case. That was just
You don't think he
to
was genuinely
okay.
forgetful?
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean, not
Uh,
not to
I
the
mean,
point
he's been on
where
camera confusing presidents' names and stuff. So I don't know. I think that might have been accurate as far as him
and
forgetting
and
things.
and okay, me and you forget
Hmm.
things. So to what extent do we say, oh, well, this individual has memory
Yeah.
loss? I mean, was that a doctor who said
No,
that? Like,
it was
or
a lawyer.
we've studied
It was a
him,
lawyer.
right? We've studied him over a period of time, and oh, he has memory loss. So I think that was just that was his people trying to get him off of that stuff, that case. But what's gonna this, and I'm saying this whenever this is February 2024, and it'll be true in November 2024. Joe Biden, in my personal opinion, is going to lose ultimately because he got out marketed by Donald Trump.
I
Period.
mean, I think the president has an uphill battle of trying to win re-election. And we talked about the border. I think the border is one of the big things. And at first, it was just like Texas and border states talking about it. Now the border is being talked about in places that are nowhere near the border. And then Democratic cities like New York, they keep Governor Abbott busing migrants and
Dumping.
yes, but
Yeah.
and those some of those migrants are committing crimes. I mean, cops were shot, and there's just been a lot of crimes involving migrants. Some are on terror watch lists, and so what I'm saying is the border issue has become a national issue. When typically the border is not a national issue, it's just talked about by the people who care about it, who live by there. I think the border is what's going to hurt the president. His age is going to be the second thing that's going to hurt him. And the thing is, you mentioned marketing. The narrative is worse for Joe Biden than Donald Trump. Both are senior citizens, both are elderly men, but the narrative and the constant gaffes and missteps on camera in front of reporters by the president, that's going to hurt him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, and there's a whole debate about whether or not um, black voters and suburban women are going to show up for Democrats in November. Uh, to me, here's my thing. Whether you like Joe Biden or not, whether you think he's old or not, it's a question of, do you want Donald Trump to be president
Yeah.
again? Um, that is just that simple. And if you don't, you need to go vote. If you do, if you do want him, you don't even have to go vote, because a no vote will be a vote for Donald Trump in November.
The point is to go vote. That's what you should say.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to go vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, because if you really do align more with what Donald Trump has to offer, then hey, go for it. If you have more affiliations with what Joe Biden has to offer, hey, go for it. It's and the thing is, y'all, who are you voting for in the House? Who are you voting for in the Senate? Who are you voting for to be your
Yeah.
mayor, your local
Local
judges?
local races
Those
are
are the
more
things.
important, believe it or not.
uh,
The
Those are
president
things
does
that
things,
matter.
but what your city council does and your state representatives, that's going to affect your daily life
That's what you
way
feel.
more. Yes, that is true.
Yes, yes. When we complain about schools and all that stuff, that's
Yeah,
local. That's local. Not that federal has no say so in it, but that's local stuff, and it's important for us to do that. Give us some inspiration. This guy is much better than I
man.
am. Go ahead,
So
tell
this
us about
happened
this guy.
last month. A guy was on a train. He went home. This is in the Philadelphia area. He went home. He lost his wallet on the train. The train operator. Now, Philadelphia, that it covers a wide area. The train operator saw the wallet. He didn't just try to call the number on the ID or something like that. This man drove 50 miles to the man who lost his wallet house. The man's ring doorbell captured him bringing it back. Take a look at this video of part of that story.
Eve.
What he did was pretty spectacular.
Greg left his wallet on the train from Ardmore to Philadelphia. Murray Day found it, and when he finished work that night, which also happened to be his birthday, he drove it from Doylestown to Greg's home, where he was captured on his Ring camera.
I found your wallet. I'm returning it. Found it on my train. What he had in there, I know he would really need it, and I wasn't looking for anything in return. This is just how I am, and this is what I do.
Murray Day had the next couple of days off and didn't want to risk the wallet getting lost in the shuffle, so he drove 55 miles to Greg's house.
So 50 miles, and it happened to be that man's birthday. Man, would you drive 50 miles to return something to someone?
Given the circumstances of that story, no. And
I would have just called.
here's the reason.
Like, I would have just tried to look up a number.
Yeah, or
And it
mail
was
it
at
to
night.
him or something like that. Right, that's what I'm saying. You think I'm about to go knock on somebody's door at nighttime and I'm black and he
Yeah.
white?
No.
No, I'm not doing that. And that's an over an hour drive. No, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm so
It was
sorry.
really good. Good on
Or
him.
he could have. I'm sure there's some kind of lost and found or
Oh,
something
yeah.
at the train
Yeah.
station. You know, he could have turned it in there. So yeah, good for him. But given the circumstances, at nighttime, black, white, money probably in the wallet. Nah, no, thank you. Over an hour
Yeah.
away. It's not like he looked up the man's address. Oh, this on the way
Mhm.
home. I can
50
no
miles.
over an hour away.
50 miles or 50
Mm,
minutes? Hold on.
mm-mm.
Is it 50 miles or 50 minutes?
It was 50 miles.
55
Drove
miles.
55
Yeah.
miles. Oh, did the man give him gas money?
I don't know what the man the story that
Uh,
story that was when they reunited, met face to face because the guy left the wallet, so they didn't meet that night. The news
oh, because
station
the ring camera
yeah, the
caught
news
it.
station interviewed the guy who lost the wallet, and he was like, "I want to meet him," and the news station organized the meetup, so they didn't even see each other that night. Uh,
Didn't think about this. Now I would have been a little slightly ticked at the guy because you left my wallet
he
outside.
might have had a little slip thing in the door or something. How are you gonna be mad that he left the
Mm.
wallet outside when you left your wallet on the train?
I'm just
So
saying because then now it could get lost twice.
at least it's lost at your house. He probably put it on like under like a
I
flower pot or
guess.
something. I mean, that's better
I
than it being
guess.
on a train. You know how many people be on a train? Them cars would
Yeah.
have been
Hey,
spent
it would have been a
quick.
blessing to a homeless person or something.
Not
Yeah.
even a homeless
Yeah.
person, a regular person might have inappropriately used the card.
Yeah, yeah. I just know I wouldn't have done that. I would have tried to get it to him. I would give it to Lost
Yeah,
and
I would
Found
have.
or
I
mailed
would
it
have
to him
tried
or
to call a
something. But
number. I'm honestly, I'm not going to drive 55 miles. So good on him.
mm-mm.
What is your
Yeah.
kick of the week?
And really, I forgot all about this.
Ah,
Yes.
that's nice.
Yep.
Little peach. Is
Yeah.
that a little peach action? What color is that?
Yeah. Yeah. It is. I kind of. Yeah. Peach is a good color. I probably wouldn't even thought of that. But yeah, peach is probably about what that color is.
Well, my kick. Shout out to the black and gold. Was black and yellow, but
Yeah.
that's nice.
Look good. Is that one of them shiny shoes or
No,
no?
it's not a
No.
shiny shoe. It's nice.
Hey. Hey, and like we said, y'all can support our sneaker collection and kick hobby. We both wear size
Kick
11,
hobby.
11, both of us do. And so, hey, if you get us a shoe and you get one pair, we're gonna do something cool to figure
Yeah.
out who gets to keep that pair of shoes. And so we want you to support that. Hey, now I just tell you this, I'm more than grateful for whatever you get, but I don't really like the shiny ones. I
Shiny
don't like
ones
the
are
shiny
cool.
ones. So well, hey, if you want to get shiny, get that, and Steven can have it. I don't really like the
It's
shiny
patent
ones,
leather. I think
but
that's the material. It's what you should call it.
okay, patent leather or whatever. Yeah, I like the regular or the suede type feeling stuff. Is what I prefer. But hey, this was another good episode of the Dialed In Show. We spent a lot of time talking about politics, y'all. This is going to be, it already is, a very big political year. Oh well, before we end, when is Nikki Haley gonna drop out?
Wow. Wow. She said
No, she's
she
not.
said she's in it until definitely until South Carolina, and after South Carolina is Super Tuesday, which she's actually coming to Dallas this week. Maybe I'll get to talk to her,
Mm.
and maybe I'll ask her,
Yeah.
how long she's staying in. She's committed. She just released a new campaign ad. We are taping Tuesday. She just released a new campaign ad Tuesday. So she's dug in, man. She ain't going nowhere. Not right now. She is going to stay in until South Carolina.
Two things before we go, y'all. Hopefully, that would be really cool if Steven can get a sit down with, not with me and Nikki, but him and Nikki. That's his
You don't need to
job.
talk to her.
Uh, But the other thing, hey, I know. Hey, y'all, thank you for those of you who are supporting us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Steven, I looked at the numbers and there are people actually
Okay.
listening on the podcast platform. So thank you all for doing that. Those leave a review and a rating on our podcast platforms. Also on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, share it, and subscribe to the Dialed In Show on YouTube. But y'all, before we got off last week, I challenged Steven to do something, and I don't believe he
It was
did
a
it.
busy
So
week.
he want to say I
It was a busy week.
Oh,
busy week.
okay. So I was late. I was
Okay,
late today, but then you too
late
didn't do
and
what you're
being
supposed to do.
busy to set up social media are two different things. Two totally different.
You had a whole week to
We
do
will
it.
set up a social media.
No, no, not we. You,
How about you just come on time?
you?
Let's start with that.
You're. So y'all, I want you to be able to follow us or whatever on Instagram and stuff, but somebody don't want y'all to. So hopefully we can get it set up by next week.
Okay, we will get that done. Promise.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a great and wonderful week. Y'all stay safe. And hey, this isn't funny. I shouldn't even joke about that.
What?
But nothing. I was just gonna say, I'll word it this way: be safe wherever you go. Keep your eyes out. Even if you go to church this weekend, keep your eyes open.
What? What are you talking about?
I feel like it's something else we do at the end of the show that we're.
It's not. It's not. You're.
We need to get like a theme closeout saying or something.
Bye.
Y'all have a good week. We will see y'all next week on the Dialed In Show, and we'll be supporting another Black business. Black History Month is a great month, and we can't wait to see what all is in store for the Dialed In Show.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Did you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.